Hi, and welcome back to Keep Smiling with Larry Rifkin. I'm Larry Rifkin. How are you? Today we're going to talk about giving and receiving. And my focus today is going to be on the receiving end. I had a friend who was in a very major car accident, and we weren't sure if he was going to make it or not. And he was in the operating room for a long time. And they performed miracles. The universe always comes through. And as he was recovering, I was visited him in the hospital room. And he said to me that during the process of what he called a near-death experience, he was enlightened. He was enlightened with the purpose of life. That intrigued me since I'm following a spiritual path. And I want to know what the purpose of life is. And I said to him, okay, share, tell me, what is the purpose of life? And he looked at me and he said two words, looking me in the eyes. He said the purpose of life is giving and receiving. Giving. I understand that. I give a lot. I give because I know what it's like to not have. And that is very important to me. So I'm very active in the community. I'm very active on many levels on giving back to the community, giving back to those less fortunate, giving whatever I can, my time, my effort, my resources, whatever it is. I believe I'm very generous and I'm able to give. But receiving? Receiving's much tougher. We give, but do we allow ourselves to receive? Do we receive love? Do we receive caring? Do we receive the help from others that is offered to us? From a very young age, I was taught, I think most of us was taught, that we need to stand on our own 2 feet. Never be dependent on another. Well, it's okay to have interdependence. We live in a world where we're not alone. And the global community, the spiritual community, are all here to support each other. So, you know that old adage that our parents taught us, our mother, our father, our teachers, our preachers, whatever it is learn to stand on your own 2 feet. Don't be dependent on others. Well, I believe in a much softer approach to that. I believe in the yin and the yang. I believe in giving and in receiving. And I am very blessed. I receive care. I receive help. I receive love. I receive beauty. I receive many things. And for each one of these things, I am extremely grateful. Gratitude is also a major step on our spiritual path. But I recognize these things and I recognize what it is to receive. And on my spiritual path, I get to a point where I open myself up. First, I still my mind, I meditate, I do my breathing exercises. I go into myself. And I quiet all the chatter that is going on in my head. And there's a ton of chatter between my home, my kids, the business, everything that's going on. But I try to still all that. I try to quiet all that. I do my breathing exercises, which I work with all of my life coaching students. It's one of the very first things that we do, because when we go through our breathing exercises and we breathe properly, we can help put ourselves into a more meditative state, and a state to allow. And this is what I'm talking about now, is allowing. Allowing the universe, God, the angels, to send us messages, to give us guidance, to show us the way. And then I listen, and I open myself up, and I ask for blessings. I ask for certain things to manifest in my life. And I recognize, because I try to tune into my body, and I recognize when messages are being sent to me, and I recognize when intuition tells me to do something. And intuition is very important. It's our inner guidance system. And if you trust it, our intuition will never steer us wrong. So I get into this place, I still my mind, I allow, and I open myself up for messages. And I'm grateful for all that I'm able to, for being in a position of being capable of being able to give to others. And when I talk about that, we give to people all the time, whether it's your spouse, your boyfriend or girlfriend, your kids, your co-workers, your employers, your employees, people you meet at the supermarket, the people you meet at the post office, anywhere. But I open myself up, and I give thanks for my ability to be in a position to be able to give. And then I open myself up for all the things that I'm looking to receive. And yes, my life, is challenging, just like anybody else's life. You can't live here on Earth and expect to go through life without challenges. We all have the challenges. That's not an issue. The issue is how we deal with them and the perspective that we take in them. But once I'm able to do my breathing exercises, meditate, and still my mind, and give gratitude for all the things that I already have, and then I do my manifesting, and that's what I am looking to receive. What I'm looking to manifest into my life, into my world, into my universe, are things that I'm looking to receive, and they don't have to be material things, although some of them are. But I'm looking to receive love like everybody else. I'm looking to receive truth. Truth in every situation. Truth about myself. Truth about others. I'm grateful for all of this. And as I do my meditation, my personal meditation, I always teach whatever works for you, but my personal meditation takes 2 steps. My affirmations, all the my gratification, all the things that I'm grateful for in my life, and my affirmations, all the things I want to manifest in my life. So, when I sit and I do all of this, and I have now said I'm grateful for all the blessings I have in my life. And again, I list as many of them as I can. And remember, we don't want to do this for 6 hours, and I could, because I'm that grateful for all the things in my life. I have many blessings. But I take about 15 minutes and I do that. And then I switch over from my gratification talk to my affirmation talk. And my affirmation talk are all the things that I'm looking to receive or manifest into my life. Receiving's much more difficult, especially here in the Western Hemisphere. As I said in the beginning, we're taught, stand on your own 2 feet. Don't be dependent on anybody else. You can do it yourself. Well, going through this path of life, there are always times that we're going to need help. We're going to need assistance. We're going to need guidance, no matter where we are on our path, whether we're neophytes or whether we're experts. And this path, or at least the path that I've chosen, has no destination. It's a continual path of exploration, of learning, of receiving, and of appreciating and being grateful. So, if we talk about receiving, on a spiritual plane, especially coming from this culture and this society where, strong, we don't need anybody else. We do. So, what I do, and some of the practices and some of the tips that I'll share with you, some of the practices that I do, are we should always acknowledge all of the gifts that we get. This is not easy because even if we acknowledge, we're taught, and it's an innate programming, an innate trigger that we have that makes us hesitate to be on the receiving side. We're very easy, I think most of us are very easy on the giving side. We love giving. It makes people happy. We get the joy of it. When we give a gift, the person that receives is happy. The person who gives it is happy. But when we receive things, we always are hesitant about receiving anything because I can do it on my own. I can get it myself. I don't need anybody's help. In this time, these economic conditions, these trying global times, we do need help. I'll be the first to admit it. We do need to be able to receive. So, I know when somebody offers help, we hesitate. We don't want to be a burden on anybody else. And we tend to resist when help is offered. Let's try to not do that anymore because as we give, so shall we receive. And we're graceful in our giving. Let us learn and practice to be as grateful or even more grateful on receiving. Some of the tips that I go over with some of my clients and that I'll share with you is to make it a practice to continuously acknowledge gifts that come to us from the universe. Whether they're large, massive gifts that we want, that new job, that new partner in life, that new relationship, that new whatever it is. But not just the big things. Also start to acknowledge and recognize the gifts that come to us in smaller packages. The gifts that are brought to us, the mailman. Think about that. Bringing us the mail every day. What was their slogan? No rain, nor sleet, nor snow, nor darkness of night shall stop the mailman from his making his rounds. It's true, but if we think about that, what about the waiter at the restaurant? I think one of the most showing signs of somebody ascending on their spiritual path and making progress is what they can do for others. with nothing in return, not expecting, not wanting, not anticipating. How we treat people that can't do anything for us. How about our preachers, our spiritual leaders, our guides? I am so thankful to them. I couldn't, if my show went 8 hours, I couldn't thank all the guides I've had in my life. The people that have come and stayed, the people that have come for a season, the people that have come for a moment, the lessons that I get. We want to always appreciate all of this. The teachers that teach our children, man, what an admirable and honorable profession that is. That's taking the future, our youth, and molding them and guiding them so that they're able to make decisions and understand the difference between right and wrong and the consequences of their decision. Another practice I use, this might sound a little weird, but it helps me get into a state of appreciation, a state of gratitude, a state of receiving. I'll sit down to eat a meal, and I'll look at the plate that's in front of me and how it's constructed, what's on it, all the different items, the main entree, the protein, the vegetables, everything that's on it. And then I'll focus on one item on there, or whatever it is. It could be the milk. Let's take a glass of milk that you're having with lunch. And I think of all the people, of all the time, of all the effort, of all the energy that it took to get that glass of milk to be sitting in front of me. Think about it. It starts with the farmer. It starts with the farmer who now has a pasture and some cows. He has to, or she has to, get up very early every morning, take care of the cows, see to all of their needs, and milk the cows so that the raw resources, the milk, starts to come. From there, it's transported. Somebody has to transport it. It means that we're thankful for the transportation that they have, the trucks that they have, the gasoline that goes in it, the truck driver that drives it, and it goes over to a processing facility. Now, all those people that take it from point A to point B are all part of the process, are all part of the process. This processing facility, which takes the raw milk and turns it into a product that is consumable for human consumption, had to be built. There had to be construction workers to build it. There had to be engineers to put together the machines. There had to be people to load the raw milk into the machine so that they can be pasteurized and homogenized and whateverized, and anything else that needs to be done. Then we have people like me who watch our fat content. So now that product, which comes out, which is now a finished product, has to be divided into different areas because I don't drink whole milk with all the fat. There are different options. You have low fat, you have this, you have non-fat. All of this is out there, and you're grateful for all of that. Then it goes from there, and it needs to get packaged. It needs to be put in that carton that it has. Well, there are people that had to make that carton. There are people that had to transport that carton over to the farmer or to the processor. There are people that take the milk, or the low-fat milk, the whole milk, the skim milk, and put it into those cartons. Then those cartons have to be shipped to the supermarket or grocery store, or whatever it is that you have there. And they have to be taken from there and they have to be unloaded. Then somebody else has to take them in and mark them all in. Then somebody has to take them and stock them. Then somebody has to actually go and drive to the store and choose that carton of milk and bring it over to us and put it in our cart. Then there's the checkout person at the supermarket. All of these people are involved with the simple process of that cup of milk that's in front of you. So be grateful to that. Another habit that I have is I try every day to acknowledge one thing that's come into my life as a gift. I try to still my mind, I try to think about it, and I try to be appreciative of it because I'm receiving that gift. I received a gift today of everybody coming in here into work in a great attitude, and us just rolling, just in sync, and that is a gift, and I appreciate that. Another thing, another point when we receive is learn to take compliments and encouragement gracefully. We don't do that so often. Don't downplay it. Don't shrug it off. Learn to take compliments and encouragement and guidance gracefully. This when you're thankful for what we receive, we make room to receive more and always pay it forward. I hope that there was some poignant information that you were able to use today. I hope that this brought you a little bit further on your journey and on your path. And have a wonderful week. And until next time and until next week, be safe and remember, always keep smiling.